Finding the right builder for a Quonset Hut or Dogtrot home is not simply about choosing the company with the lowest estimate, because these two architectural approaches have very different structural, climatic, and construction requirements. A reliable builder should understand not only how to construct a house, but also how the unusual geometry, ventilation strategy, foundation requirements, insulation, weather exposure, and interior layout of these homes affect the entire project. The first step is to decide exactly which type of home you want, because searching for a Quonset Hut specialist and searching for a traditional timber frame or post and beam Dogtrot builder may lead you to completely different contractors. When looking for a builder, search specifically for contractors who have experience with metal building homes, agricultural or commercial Quonset structures, post and beam homes, timber frame construction, traditional homes, or other projects that demonstrate relevant skills. However, experience with a metal building alone does not automatically mean that a contractor understands residential detailing, so ask whether previous projects included insulation, plumbing, electrical systems, interior finishes, kitchens, bathrooms, and residential code compliance. For a Dogtrot project, look for builders who can demonstrate successful work involving complex roof intersections, covered porches, exposed structural wood, exterior siding, and open-air transitional spaces. One of the strongest indicators of reliability is the quality and relevance of a builder's completed projects, particularly projects that resemble your proposed home in structure, climate, size, and complexity. Do not focus only on beautiful, finished photographs, because details such as roof drainage, siding transitions, window installation, foundation work, flashing, and exterior maintenance can tell you much more about long-term construction quality. If possible, visit a completed project and observe how the house is performed after several seasons, rather than judging a builder solely from a newly completed home. A professional builder should be comfortable explaining who will engineer the structure, who will obtain permits, which subcontractors will be involved, what materials will be used, and how changes will be handled during construction. Ask whether structural engineering is included and whether the engineer is licensed or otherwise qualified to provide the documentation required by the relevant jurisdiction. For a Dogtrot home, ask how the builder intends to handle the central breezeway, roof drainage, foundation transitions, exterior exposure, and the relationship between the two enclosed wings. A trustworthy builder should also explain what happens if soil conditions require a different foundation solution than originally anticipated. The foundation is one of the most important parts of any Quonset Hut or Dogtrot home, because the structure ultimately depends on a properly designed connection between the building and the ground. Depending on the site and engineering requirements, a project might use a slab-on-grade, piers, crawl space, or another foundation approach, so the correct choice should come from site conditions and engineering rather than appearance alone. For a Dogtrot home, the foundation design also needs to coordinate the two enclosed wings and the open central space, while accommodating local soil, drainage, and elevation requirements. Insulation deserves special attention in a Quonset Hut, because the large curved metal surface can create significant thermal challenges if the wall and roof assembly is poorly designed. The builder should explain how the proposed assembly manages heat transfer and moisture, rather than simply promising that the building will be insulated. In hot or humid climates, moisture management and ventilation can be especially important, while colder regions may require different insulation strategies and careful attention to air sealing. A Dogtrot home can naturally encourage cross-ventilation, but modern homeowners still need properly designed heating and cooling systems suited to the local climate and building envelope. Speaking with previous clients can reveal information that is difficult to see in photographs, including how the builder handled delays, unexpected problems, changes, communication, and final inspections. Communication is particularly important for unconventional projects because unexpected questions may arise when standard construction details must be adapted to unusual architectural forms. If a contractor avoids reasonable questions, refuses to provide relevant references, or cannot clearly explain the construction sequence, consider that a warning sign rather than simply assuming everything will work out. A polished website can be useful, but it should not be the only source you use when evaluating a contractor. Look for evidence across multiple sources, including licensing information where applicable, professional associations, public permit records where accessible, completed projects, client references, and detailed construction documentation. The goal is not to find a builder who claims to build everything, but to find a contractor whose actual experience matches the structural and architectural demands of your project. Be cautious if a contractor pressures you to sign immediately, gives an unusually vague estimate, refuses to provide a written scope, or dismisses the importance of engineering and permits. Another warning sign is a builder who insists that unconventional homes do not need professional engineering, or that local building requirements can simply be ignored. Reliable construction is not about avoiding regulations. It is about understanding them and designing a home that is safe, durable, comfortable, and legally buildable. After comparing experience, references, estimates, communication, engineering, contracts, and relevant completed projects, you should have a much clearer picture of which contractor is appropriate for your home. For a Quonset hut, prioritize a builder who understands steel structures as well as residential construction, especially insulation, moisture management, foundations, windows, interior framing, and mechanical systems. For a Dogtrot home, prioritize experience with timber framing, traditional residential construction, covered porches, roof drainage, outdoor circulation, and the integration of modern systems into a historically inspired layout. Most importantly, remember that a beautiful rendering is not proof of a successful building, because the real test is whether the finished home performs through changing seasons and everyday use. The best builder is therefore not necessarily the cheapest contractor or the company with the most impressive marketing, but the professional who can translate your design vision into a structurally sound, code-compliant, climate-appropriate, and genuinely livable home. When you approach the search this way, you're not simply hiring someone to construct an unusual house. You're building a team capable of turning a distinctive architectural idea into a home that can remain functional and beautiful for decades. And whether your dream is a compact Quonset hut with a dramatic curved ceiling or a spacious Dogtrot home centered around a breezy outdoor passage, the right builder can make the difference between an attractive concept and a successful, real-world residence.